Hi, blessings everyone. My name is Lacey Dawn Jackson. I am the Groovy Green Goddess, and I think you're groovy too. So just to throw that out there. And I am Facebook Live if you are tuning in and want to watch me live. And I'm live from my tiny house. You can go over to the 12 Radio chat room over at Facebook. And yeah, Scott, my producer, will let you in. If you're not already a member, you can be a member, and we'll have lots of fun. Anyway, I hope we have lots of fun. Thanks for tuning in today. And you just started, or you just stopped listening. Oh, you know what? I'm a little distracted because I just got my joke of the day. And I love that because I belong to this Facebook thing that's called Words Worth. And this little owl sends me a new word every day and gives me a sentence. Some of the words, I wonder if they're really words because I've never heard of them. But that's, you know, part of getting these words is learning new words. But there is an opportunity in the message that I get sent to me that says, tell me a joke. So I always pick the tell me a joke. And so here is the joke of the day, since it just popped up on my Facebook page. And the joke is, how do chickens bake cakes? I think this one's kind of an easy one. Yeah, from scratch. Yeah. Okay. Well, on with the show. So I am now on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am rotating with Barb, who does the Heel and Deal show. So she will be on next week, and then I'll be on the week after, and so on and so on. And I'm so excited because I love radio, and I haven't been able to get on a regular basis because I'm just so booked and just lots of stuff going on in my life, and finally editing and working on one of my books because I have more time. I've carved out more time for that. And this every other week gig here on the radio, here at 12 Radio, is working smashingly for me. So I'm very excited about that. Hi, everyone in the chat room. As you know, I am a little, I don't know, left-footed. You know, it's like when you use your foot to navigate the keys. That's kind of how I am with my hands, especially if I'm talking at the same time. I am a multitasker, but I don't multitask like that. So I'm just going to say hi to everyone in the chat room. If you would like a reading today, I will be doing readings later on in the broadcast. Haven't done that for a while, and I love doing readings. And, you know, these readings are for everyone who tunes in, who is listening. If you're tuning in on a on-demand copy of this, the readings are for you too. So it doesn't matter when I give you the reading. It's a matter of, okay, does this reading resonate? Is this the same question that someone else is asking? So I always have to put that out there. Today, let's see. I'm going to talk about the circle of life, and I touch base on this in my classes, and anytime that I'm doing radio every so often, because I think it's such an important piece of how we can become more intuitive. And for those of you who don't know me, my mission is to help you become more intuitive. We're all very psychic. We're all very intuitive. And we can certainly exercise those muscles by doing just simple little exercises and techniques each day to practice and exercise our intuitive muscles. You know, it's just like a doctor who studies for years and years to become a doctor, or a mechanic that learns at a very early age to work on a car with his dad, and then all of a sudden he's this expert at being a mechanic. Or, you know, there's this heart surgeon that has studied and studied about the heart and is, you know, a heart surgeon. So I believe that we are all very intuitive. It's a matter of practicing. It's a matter of studying and exercising that intuitive muscle. All right. So, if you are noticing the background, this is like my kitchen, and I'm in my dining area now. This is my tiny house, and maybe in the next week, I will show you around and give you a tour. Although I wouldn't have to leave my chair, I could just kind of like go like this. But I'm not going to do that today, just for the simple fact that my Facebook Live iPad thing is being held up by crystals, and you know, one wrong move, the rocks and stones are going to start tumbling down off my printer. So I've got to finagle another way of putting this up. But I gotta tell ya, I love being back in my tiny house. For those of you who read my newsletters, and if you're interested in getting my newsletters on a regular basis, you can go over to LaceyDawnJackson.com and sign up, and you'll be on my newsletter list. I had talked about moving into the big city of Olympia, and I did. I lived there for a couple years, God. You know what? It probably felt like a couple years, even though I wasn't aware of that. I lived right smack in the big city of Olympia in this fabulous apartment, and for a couple months. And while I was there, I didn't necessarily notice the energies, but I did, you know, hear the people yelling and screaming at night on the street, and, you know, there's a lot of activity. And it wasn't until I stepped away and had to travel back out to the coast that I realized, oh my God, I don't want to go back. And I may have talked about this on a show, 1-2 Originals on Friday, but I think it's important to just address it, just to you know, talk about it just for a minute here. But long story short, I ended up moving back into my tiny house. I haven't lived here in my tiny house for a couple years, and I moved out of my tiny house a couple years ago because it was like so small, and I wanted to cook, and I wanted to just, you know, have space to where I could like walk into my bedroom, and I could walk into my living room and my kitchen. And so it was time for me to do that, and I chose to go down to the ocean, and I lived in a house down there for a couple years, and I had a fabulous time. But what is funny, and this is really something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, is that some of the goals that I had when I moved into the house, I thought, okay, I'm going to get these goals done, and I am going to focus and get some of this stuff off my to-do list. And you know what? 2 years later, I'm looking at my to-do list, and guess what? there's several of those goals that are still on my to-do list that I hadn't got to. Now, I tried to. I would work on them. I would recommit myself, and it just wasn't coming. And I put it up for procrastination. And I believe that procrastination is good in a way, but you have to really not make excuses and continue on procrastinating. And I found that that's probably what I was doing. But I learned something else in the whole mix of things, is that the energies of who we choose to hang out with can really affect what we want to accomplish in our lives. Now, that has nothing to do with that person. That person is very nice and very good and very good energy. But have you noticed in your life, being around different people that are just awesome, that maybe you're not as motivated to get things done, and that certainly could be a choice. That was my choice. I could have buckled down and got some things done. But fast forward, I'm in my tiny house. I've been here for just a couple weeks, and I have already marked off a couple of those things that have been on my to-do list for over 2 years. And I chalk it up to being here out in the woods by myself, where it's almost too quiet, which actually nothing is too quiet for me, but I think it would be too quiet for some who are used to living in a faster paced environment. I lay in my bed at night and I cannot hear anything. For the last couple nights, it has been so quiet. The frogs aren't even croaking and practicing their orchestra, which I am located right next to a marsh. It's right outside my window, that if it rains and rains and rains and rains, that the marsh comes right up by my porch. I don't think I'll ever be flooded out, but can you imagine, all of a sudden I wake up and my tiny house is floating out in the marsh. That would be kind of fun. But sometimes we have to really make a commitment to step away from what we are doing in our lives. And if we are, I am so passionate about some of the things that I know I have to do, that I think that was part of me being at unrest at the ocean, is I wasn't finishing some of these things and some of these projects that I thought that I would finish, because I moved down there to finish them. And it's that adage that wherever we move, there we are. Whatever we need to do, we might as well do it right here, right now. But there is the fact that sometimes we have environments or people that inspire us more to finish things, and certainly that is what the tiny house is doing for me right now, is inspiring me to finish projects. And so I would really encourage you to look at what you're doing in your life, as far as what are you procrastinating on, and what is still on your to-do list after a few years, and what can you do to encourage yourself to finish these projects. Maybe it's moving into a tiny house. No. Sometimes it is about changing some majors in our life. Sometimes it's about changing some minors in our life. So I am very thankful today for the opportunity that came to me about 5 years ago when my tiny house was built, because it was a proof of concept for a play that an ex was writing at the time. And thank you, Red. Thank you for my tiny house. You know, he is very much a creative soul, and he knew. He's extremely intuitive. And if you've been following me for a long time, him and I did a radio show, Jive Talking with Lacey and Red, way back in the day, while we were traveling and living in a van in New Zealand. And you know, some of my latest book will be talking about that experience, because I was like going through menopause at the time and living in a van. Oh my God. Good memories. Very good memories. I learned so much, but you know, it's really important to really look at the people that have come through our life, whether we are still connected with them or not, that we look upon the things that we learned from that person, from that situation, from living in the big city. I learned that I will never live in the big city again, that I am a nature girl. And I had a friend say, Lacey, you're a fairy. I wondered when you were like moving right smack in the city, what you were doing, because you're a fairy. And, and then some people go, wow, all the money that you wasted, all the time that you wasted, and then you had to move again. And I don't look at it that way. So when we choose to go down a different path than where we eventually end up, don't, say, oh my gosh, I wasted this much time. I was out walking with a girlfriend yesterday, and she goes, wow, I wasted 6 years of my life, putting up with this relationship. And I don't believe that we waste a moment. Now, we could certainly, our intuition can certainly be like talking to us and going, get the hell out of this relationship, or, move on, or get something better, or this isn't serving you. But it's our choice whether we stay for as long as we stay. And what's important is after we choose to change our situation, do not keep beating yourself up over the relationship that I wasted so much time over, because there is never a waste. There is never a waste when you choose to go down one path opposed to another path. Okay? And that's how I feel living in the big city, is that I learned, it was something that I always wanted to do. Even as a teenager, I thought, one of these days I'm going to live downtown Seattle. Well, I lived downtown Olympia and decided that, that it's not for me. Now, would I have known that if I would have moved from the ocean right to the tiny house? No. I wouldn't know that. And that idea would still be in the back of my mind. Certainly, I did think about moving from the ocean to the tiny house back in last November, right before I decided to move into the big city. But I wanted to have a new experience. So sometimes when we revisit things, such as me revisiting the tiny house and, making my nest here, I feel that my energy is so expansive. Now, I had someone not too long ago say, oh, why would, moving back into the tiny house, why would you put your energy that small? And I disagreed, because my energy is like bigger than it has been for a long time, and I'm getting so much finished and done. So even though, and she's an expert. She's an expert and works with people all the time and is very well known in the spiritual community. It was really refreshing to me that I could disagree and not necessarily say, oh, you know, you're right, because you're an expert, you know? And that's something else, that you are your own expert, all right? You are your own psychic. So at the end of the day, it's what's coming to you. What you are doing, what you are thinking, what you are feeling within, no matter what anybody says or suggests. You know, my energy wasn't going for, oh my gosh, I'm moving back into the tiny, tiny house, and oh, I'm so little. Anyway, the other day, my granddaughter, Miss Ellie, who she like walks through the woods and she comes and visits me all the time. And she said, oh, Gamma, you know, this is your womb. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my womb. Oh, she was saying room, but this is my womb. I'm wondering if you could hear that rain. It's raining really hard here. I'm going to start floating away any minute. All right. So let's get focused here. If you're tuning in, my name is Lacey Dawn Jackson, the Groovy Green Goddess. You are tuned in to 1-2 Radio, where we are changing the way you listen to the world. If you have not listened to some of the other fabulous shows on 1-2 Radio, I would encourage you to do that. I have so many awesome colleagues who have shows every week. And go over to the 12radio.com and look and choose and pick someone you haven't listened to before. Because, you know, there's always something to learn or to just hear. So I would encourage you to do that. I'm going to go into the chat room here. And, oh, Tara, groovy, man. All right. Groovy Goddess. So, Tara has posted a picture of lots of people dancing, you know. Dancing, that is the best medicine. So I was listening to music. I am so excited to also be back closer to the city. Because I get to see more music. You know, living out on the coast, it took, it takes like 2.5, 3 hours to get to Seattle to the music scene. So I, for the first time in many weekends, I get to stay home, which, I'm going out to see some music on Saturday night, and I'm so excited. Usually I travel on the weekends. I go here, there, and everywhere, and make appearances and do readings and workshops and such. And if you live in the Portland area, I will be in the Portland area on a regular basis. And I can't tell you any more information, not yet. But I will shortly. Yes, I get to stay home this weekend, and I'm so excited about that. I wanted to look into the chat room. Hi, everyone. Thanks for listening. I'm looking to see would love a past reading on what you see for my path. Oh, would love a reading on what you see on my path through my healing light work. All right. So, you know what's interesting about that is I have been noticing, and this has been going on for about, a year, at least a year, but I've been noticing that there are people who are working really hard to get into the healing profession. Okay. Now, if you're not listening to me, I'm making little marks, I don't know those explanation. No, I don't know what they're called anyway. You'll just have to watch me on Facebook Live to see what I'm doing, but I'm putting quotation marks around the being a healer. Okay. And people are really working and trying hard to be this healer. And what I've been noticing is we don't have to go anywhere else to be that healer, that we are actually being asked to, in some cases, stay where we are in the jobs that we are, maybe shifting our attitude and shifting the way that we think about these jobs, and being a healer in your own right in the job, whether there are, healers around or it's a healing profession. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I will explain it a little bit better. It is about accepting where we are right here, right now, even if we do not like the job that we're doing. When we lean into acceptance for where we are, the universe knows that we want to make some changes. And that maybe we don't want to necessarily be in this same job, but we want to move into the healing profession a little bit more in a bigger way. When we accept where we are right here, right now, then we have let go of this want, and instead we're not going, oh, I want this and I want that, while we are here in a different situation. We're not letting it go and letting the universe do the work and bring these opportunities to us. Certainly we have to, be on the watch and be ready for these opportunities. But what I'm noticing recently are people that once they really just lean into where they are right here, right now, in the profession that they are in, and call themselves a healer, whether you can exclaim that you are a healer, at the top of your lungs in this, because there are, people there that do not understand, but you are a lighthouse. You are a light worker, and your energy is doing work around that environment, whether you're talking about it or not. Something else that I'm noticing is that when we are in situations or jobs that we aren't as happy about doing, that it's important to get support. Let's say that we are in the healing profession and we're doing a job that is not in the healing profession, and that we really would like to, be more in the healing profession. That in the meantime, until you get fully immersed in the healing profession in the fashion that you would like it to be, that you acceptance again where you are, but it's that support system, making sure that you have a support system that is in the healing profession, that you have other spiritual beings around you, that you can have that fulfillment that you may not be getting at work. Okay. Now that's not to say that you can't just, jump and be full-time in, like, let's say you're a massage therapist or you want to do energy work and stuff like that. Yes, you can certainly continue to do that. But in the meantime, it is about accepting where we are right here, right now, because the universe does know what we want because you've put that intention out there already. You put it out there. So, let's draw some cards. All right. Let's draw some cards about that situation. And I have, okay, Cece. So, let's draw some cards on your situation. All right. And, see what your path is through healing light work. All right. Ooh, there is a new opportunity coming. I see it. All right, so here is my big bag of cards. I'm looking for my water here before I start. Cheers to you. Take a swig of your juice there. Okay. So, I like this. So, I chose 3 cards here. All right. The first card, new opportunity. So like I was talking about, there is a new opportunity coming. It's about leaning into what you're doing right here, right now, and keep a watch. Pay attention. Remain open. Do new things. Step out of your comfort zone. Okay? I get that you are very powerful and in your light work. And you may not think so. It's like you're second guessing yourself. So what I would encourage you to do, and this will help shift things for you, Cece. Anyone else who, is wanting to explore new territory is, especially if you want to be, exploring your light work. So this is what I suggest. That when you are in a room, let's say you go out to coffee or you're in a restaurant and you're sitting there, visualize you as a vehicle. You are the vehicle of this light, of this white light that we all have. All right. Sometimes some people are darker than others because of where they are, hanging out or what they're doing to their bodies and blah, blah, blah. But I won't go there because that's a whole other entirely different show. But so you're sitting there and you're observing, you're people watching, and you want to be a vehicle. And so what you do is you visualize the white light from the universe. Now, you could call it the universe's light. You could call it God's light. You could, the white light. But there's this light that we can encourage, that we can ask to come through our chakra up here, our crown chakra, okay? And it comes through our bodies. So we are the vehicle. Remember, for you who are light workers, that if you are getting burnt out and if you are getting tired when you are doing massage or laying hands on people, that it is about you putting yourself back into that vehicle, that you are only the vehicle. You do not have to give your own energy, okay? It's very simple. You are the vehicle here. And so you see this white light coming through and it comes out your hands, or it just exudes out. And maybe you see this man across the room that is sad. You can just tell he's sad. Well, you can just see this white light going over to him. Okay? Now you can also do the white light just coming down and around him, or just sending good thoughts over there. Our thoughts are the most powerful thing. If we are stinking thinking on ourselves, then you know what? The universe knows. The universe takes that as, okay, that's what we want. Okay, so if we're down on ourselves and we continue to second guess ourselves, the universe is also going to go back and forth. So putting out this energy as you are the vehicle, putting out this energy to people around us or to situations, okay? That doesn't seem like it is connected to the what is my path as a light worker, but that's a start, okay? And the more you do that, the more you practice it, the more you're exercising your psychic muscles there. You're exercising your psychic muscles, and that's practice. And then practice makes perfect, or practice starts getting things rolling right along, and new opportunities are going to come. During this day, during this time in our society, we need more light workers than ever that pose as a lighthouse in areas that, as simple as a coffee shop or a restaurant or walking down the road, you know, part of our light workers' job is to look at people when we're walking. I can't believe this is like one of my pet peeves, you know, walking down the street. I always like look everybody like in the eye and smile. I'm ready to like smile. And you know how many people just look down to the ground? They don't even have any eye contact. They're, you know, like over here and over here. And it's really important that for those of us who are light workers, who want to step more in our light worker power, that we do simple things as smiling to one another or smiling, because you never know what that person's going through, and that smile may have just brightened their day. You might not know that because maybe they frown back at you, or they roll their eyes, or they don't even look at you at all. But their energy will know that you smiled at them, all right? They may not even be conscious of it. All right, so those are some of the things that we can do to step more onto our light worker path. Okay, so that's new opportunity. So take the opportunity to do that. I can't even believe what time it is, and I haven't even got to my topics yet. All right, that's life. So the second card that I chose was Endings and Beginnings. What a fabulous card for UCC, because this is about you releasing the old, and that's what you know. I get that you have been releasing, doing a lot of work, releasing what no longer serves you, and that hasn't been the most comfortable. So pat yourself on the back. It's very important to pat ourselves on the back, you know, hey, good job. And pat yourself on the back. Endings. So you are stepping out of what no longer serves you. And since you want to explore more on the healing, the light work that you are already doing, stepping more into that, you are. This is the beginnings card. You're already doing it, okay? Oh, Cece, yes. So, she's responding by, funny, I had a dream many years back of seeing a very white light and a vehicle coming towards me. And Jesus was in my dream. Woo! Oh my gosh, I love that. So, you know, Jesus, I love Jesus. Jesus is my friend, you know. Anyway, he's just misunderstood. Okay, I won't go there. So the third card is, oh, under the table. So, I don't know if I can get it. Let me see. All right. So the third card is receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, your energy, and your ability to give to others. Oh my gosh, that receiving bit. Yes, it is so important for us to receive. You know, I still find myself sometimes when somebody gives me something, or when somebody, well, especially if it's a compliment, they'll say something and I'm like, oh yeah, well, you know, and I've stopped myself and go, wait, thank you. Because so often, if we have trouble receiving, we will start this explanation or this, oh, well, you know, thing. And all we need to do is say thank you. And when we say thank you, energetically, we're like, yes, thank you. And when we do that, you know, things happen in our life that is, they're blessings. So allow yourself to receive. We don't always have to give. And that is one thing that us light workers do, is when we start noticing and stepping more in our power, we notice that we give. Now, I noticed that in the last couple years in some of my relationships, that I had to go back and revisit. Now, just because I'm a spiritual teacher doesn't mean that I, you know, don't have to go and repeat some of these old patterns, especially if it has to do with relationships. For some reason, you know, I like to go back in and go, oh, you know what? I'm giving way too damn much in this relationship, and it's taken me this long to realize that I'm not getting anything back. You know, I didn't say, damn you, Lacey. You know, you screwed up again. I didn't say that. I just went, wow, okay. Another layer of the onion that I am, you know, taking down off around me and becoming more in tune with my authentic self. And yes, my goal is to have you become more your authentic self, because, you know, who cares what other people think? Anyway, I am going to cover the circle of life really quick. So the circle of life it's a graft that you can, you know, it's like there's several pieces of the pie. I can put a copy of it in the chat room after this show. So if you're interested, go to the 1-2 Radio chat room, and I will put a copy of it in there, and you can print it out and put the dots and stuff. But this is what it looks like. Okay, it's a circle of life. It is a tool that I use to see where I'm at in the slice of life. Do you like that? The slice of pie. You know, on a side note, I don't even like pie. I like cake. If I'm going to eat something, it's going to be cake. But, so this circle of life, there is spirituality, there is education, career, health, home cooking, relationships. And what you do is you go around, and in the center of it is the least amount that you're not getting this need met, all right? Whereas the outer part of the circle, you're getting your needs met here, okay? So for example, home cooking. Home cooking, are we taking care of ourselves? My home cooking is clear in the center here. You know why? Because I live in a tiny house. But it is something that I'm willing to kind of give up or negotiate. Now, since I did this chart and I realized, wow, home cooking, because home cooking is really important to me. I love to bake, and I love to, bake bake cookies and cake. And I love to try out new recipes. Now that I'm in the tiny house, I cook with an electric fry pan. I cook with a crock pot. I eat out a lot. But I've been kind of on the fly too, so I'm, eating and grabbing and going. And that's not necessarily, what I want to do. It's not my bigger goal. But after I realized, looking at this graph, realizing, wow, okay, my home cooking is next to nothing, that I talked to a girlfriend who has a washer and dryer. See, I gave up my washer and dryer too. I sold that because I'm living in a tiny house. Now, certainly I could go through the river. Well, there isn't a river, but I could go through the swamp if I wanted to, and up the hill to my parents' house through the woods, and I could use their washer and dryer. But I have an agreement with one of my gal pals that I'm going to go over to her house and I'm going to do my laundry. And when I do my laundry there, I'm going to cook dinner and I'm going to bake and I'm going to just have so much fun. And then she's going to get home and she is going to have dinner ready on the table and I'm going to serve her. So both of us are getting our needs met. And it wasn't something that I really was thinking about until I filled out this circle of life chart, just for my awareness, for my own awareness as to where am I, where could I improve upon in my life to make my life more passionate and feel better about what I'm doing. So yeah, I will pin that to the post underneath my banner at 1-2 Radio in the Facebook chat room. You know what? I think I'm going to get the cards again. I'm going to go through the chat room, but I had a rock slide here. Sorry about that. my rocks fell. There we go. All right. I'm going to have to not get so excited, but I'm going to put these cards back in the bag here, and I'm going to look and see who else would like a reading today. I'm going to take these out here. All right. Mix these up. Yeah, I definitely need to figure out something because now I'm like kind of sideways, but that's okay. So, ooh, lucky number 7. Okay, someone posted, Tara, again, you're posting some of these good, what are they, GIFs or memes or whatever they are. Jesus, and, he's lucky number 7. Speaking about gambling, okay, I will get a reading in before time is up, but that prompts me to share a story with you. So, in the last couple years, I have learned more about casinos, and I learned too that I'm so cheap. If I lose $20, I'm mad. But so there's a casino near. Probably about 10 miles away that on Mondays, because I'm over 50 on Mondays, I get $10 worth of free play. And you know what? If I am, a lot of times I'm driving by there on a Monday because I'm out of town working. And so, yeah, guess what I do on Mondays? I go in there and I play my $10 free play. Well, now that I'm living back here at the tiny house, I'm taking my mom down there. And my mom, I've got to like drag her out of there because she's like, Lacey, I could really get caught up in doing this. And I could really tell that she can, because, you know, she's like taking more money out of her purse. And I'm like, okay, come on, you know, let's go. But me, I play my $10 free play. And the other day, I kept winning and I kept winning. And I'm like, okay, gosh. And then I was trying to, it wasn't anything big that I was winning, but I was like, okay, I need to get going. And so I said, okay, give me a sign that I need to go. And my winnings were $4.44. And I was so tickled. I was like, yay, okay, that's my sign. I'm done for this Monday. And I cashed out $4.44. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, let's go into, oh, Tammy, thank you. Tammy, is mentioning my, Groovy Goddess book, and, yeah, I have a book. It's out on Amazon, where you can get it off my website, but, Amazon, it's called The Journey of the Groovy Goddess, Finding My Authentic Self. And I can't wait until my other book is out. Yeah, but thank you for taking the time to read my book. She said, it's just wonderful. And gosh, thank you. Thank you for taking that time. Okay, so Denise, I feel a new position at work is coming soon, but I'm losing faith. Can you give me some insight? Oh my goodness, so the insight. Well, you're learning a lesson in patience, that's for sure. Yeah, I definitely see a new position for you as well. For some reason, it feels as if there's like some paperwork, not on your end, but paperwork and some other stuff that needs to be figured out. That has nothing to do with your new position. That's what cracks me up. It has nothing to do with your new position, but because of the people that are in charge of both things, they're more focused over here than they are with the new position right now. You know, May is coming up, so that's not too far away. In the meantime, continue to do the job that you're doing. Continue to hold a positive attitude because it is coming. But I see that there is a shift, or that you are already in that midst in May. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. I forget about the cards. And I also forget about the Facebook live stream. People are commenting there too. I see you. I really do. I see you. And I might not comment that I see your comments, but thank you for that. I saw earlier that Linda wants more information about the Portland gig that I will be doing on a monthly basis. I will fill you in. I should know more about that in a couple weeks when I am back. I wrote down what the date is, but I can't find my notes. I haven't gone off my notes anyway. So the next time I am here on the radio, April 5th, I will be here, back here, same time, same bat channel, 1-2 radio. But I will give you the specs and the information at that time, but it's still a deal going through. So, you know, we have to be patient there, so I will give you more information. Okay, so back to the new position and cards. Oh, okay, so in the meantime, Denise, it would be advantageous of you to retreat into nature. Get yourself outside and let this go. Let the new position aspect go right now, okay? You've already done everything that you can do. Okay? So it's a matter of practicing your patience and not thinking about it. And yeah, definitely a shift is coming, and it's coming soon. And you've been very good at being patient so far. But the main thing that I am being shown here for you is to get outside and to just clear off some of this excess energy. And when we are coming out this week, oh my gosh, 1 week. I mean, 1 minute already. But when we are coming out of, like, it's springtime now, and coming out of the winter months, it's really important to get outside. So, oh my gosh, I just can't believe maybe I'm going to have to start coming here for 2 hours instead of 1. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to either watch me or to listen to me right here on 12radio.com. We have some other shows coming up. Against the Rules will be here at noon. And then right directly after me are the Psychic Sisters. Oh, and if you are in the Olympia area, guess where I'm going to be? I'm going to be at the Psychic Sisters Vintage Clothing Store doing readings today from 1 to 6. I think I'm just about booked up, but you can call and see if I have any more openings. But if you can't make it, I'd highly recommend the Psychic Sisters right here on 12 Radio. Also, don't forget that we have evening programming this evening. So we have Mole Mama, Soul to Soul, and All My Angels is taking place this evening too. So I will see you. I will talk to you at April 5th. So in the meantime, be groovy, be your authentic self, and exercise that psychic muscle. Blessings. Bye-bye.